Hello truckers, and welcome back to American Truck Simulator with realistic economy. I'm watching what happened throughout the night. We did make some money, but I'm seeing some drivers returning empty-handed and costing us a little bit of cash, but it's going to happen now and then. But anyways, I need to focus on what we're doing here today. Yeah, we need to get to Grand Coulee, and I need to be there by 10 something, and currently we can see I'll be there by 9. At least that's what this says. So we shall see how it goes. With the fall mod that we're running, you can see at 6 a.m. it is rather on the dark side, but then again it is raining as well, so that adds to it. The sun will be up at some point, as we hope, and maybe the skies will clear. But we're going to see once we get to Grand Coulee, do I find something to Florida? If I don't, then we'll make our way over to Seattle, and then try to find something then. Some people have been trying to give me some helpful hints and tips as to how they made it to Florida. And yeah, there are a couple of people, I know what you're saying, that by driving 11 hours and then sleeping and driving 11 hours, you'll make it. The problem that I don't want to say a problem, the issue what I do is, I drive for the 11 hours, and then from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., I just skip. I'm not driving or sleeping. So we're kind of like eliminating that time, if you will. So that adds a little bit to it. But we'll get it all squared away. We'll make it. We'll make sure we get there on time. Like I said, I may have to drive the 14 hours and sleep. I don't want to drive the 11 hours and then sleep right away, because then instead of getting to be at 6, I'll get up at 3 a.m., which will be completely dark. And I don't want to have a bad view all the way down to Florida, meaning driving in the dark. It would be interesting to be driving at different times of the day for a little bit, but for viewing pleasure, yeah, we'll figure it out. Also, just before I started recording today, I have been a while since I've been on the World of Trucks profile or looked up anything for ATS, and I happened to see that Arkansas has been announced as, I don't want to say the next state, but the next state announced of a DLC. So we just got Oklahoma not too long ago. Well, maybe about a couple months now, it seems like. We know Kansas is on the list along with Nebraska. But then, yeah, Arkansas came up on the list. So not the Dakotas, which is kind of interesting. So I don't know what they're, I hope they don't take over the coast-to-coast map for the most part. I was kind of hope that they would just keep going up north to the Dakotas and give us more of the northern parts to deal with, because Coast to Coast has done a nice job on the southern half of the country. So I was kind of hoping that SCS would kind of be, go towards the northern half of the states. Oh well. I've seen a couple of pictures of the Arkansas, so it sounds like they're just announcing Arkansas will be the next one on the list, and they're just getting started on it. It's pretty much already in the works, so yeah. And of course, no dates for any of the other states currently. Yeah, we'll go through that. I gotta remember, with it raining out, the roads are a little bit more slick. I don't even have my wipers on, so that's where I'm at. What button is my wipers? That's the button I need for the wipers. Am I turning here? Nope. That is an invisible wall. Not paying attention at all. I kept looking at the GPS. I'm like, the next road to the right. And yeah, that's the road on the right, but it's not a traverse road, so... Oops. I think they want me to turn here. Is where I need to be turning. I turn wide enough, it's hard to see my load back there. Oh, this load is heavy. How heavy is this? Oh, 66,000 pounds. Let's get up the hill here. No traffic coming, which is good. Not a good start to the episode, but we'll do better. I hope. Yeah, there we go. All right, let me cruise on the interstate for a little bit and try to get my thoughts and try to get myself into a rhythm here. There we all go. So we are up to $27,000, which is great because I do believe it was last episode, and the reason why I'm saying that, it's actually been a while since I recorded an episode of ATS. Last episode I recorded was like on a Monday. The episode doesn't go to that Sunday, and now it's the following Friday. So it's been about 12 days, give or take, since I've been at ATS, and of course in the meantime, that's when I had my graphics card problem. So yeah, it's been a while since I've been rolling around the streets here in the US. Just trying to keep my speed up. And I probably should be kind of careful because the roads are wet. Ooh, I don't know if that was a merging lane I just came up into. I just came out like I'm coming and here I am. I don't know if I had to yield to oncoming traffic. Was that just a merging lane? I don't know. Ugh, it's not getting better. It's getting worse. The weather is getting better. Let's turn off the wipers. And the speed limit is only 55 through here. Okay. Yeah, also it does feel a little bit weird because since the last episode I've changed things around on my desk with the microphones in different spots, so it seems kind of weird. Track IR and all that is the way the cables are running are all different, so it feels kind of weird right now. Not trying to give myself excuses for my bad driving, because I always got bad driving. Only 55. 55 seems kind of slow. But now it seems reasonable since I'm getting onto a single lane. And now we got a couple of trucks in front of us. I don't really expect out of Grand Coulee to get something to Florida, but you never know. Ooh, there's a car kind of... Yeah. They're trying to figure it out. And there's a way station. So we got to pull into that. I hope that wasn't the entryway to the way station. No, it wasn't. Going to give me a rough go here at the start of our... it's a Wednesday in-game. Your vehicle is not in perfect condition. Well, I don't think any of my vehicles are ever in perfect condition. I'm going to say it's mostly tire wear. Oh, now you're going to give me a whole line of traffic, are you? Ah, Harry P. bringing in $7,000. That's nice of him. All right, how many miles? Only 76 miles to go. All right. Yeah, it says 9:20 we'll get there. We got to be there by, well, 12 after 10. So, wouldn't be a bit surprised pretty soon when you get the lovely music saying, hey, the customer wants their delivery here soon. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to handle this episode because if we get to Grand Coulee and there is a trip to Florida, well, I kind of want to do that in its own episode where when I asked the question a few episodes ago, do you want the trip to Florida in one complete episode, which could be like 3 hours long, or do you want it separate? Everyone except I think only one person so far has said they want it in one video. I'm like, okay, give the people what they want. And I was trying to figure out how I wanted to do it, and I thought, well, I got to sit there for like 3 or 4 hours and do commentary and all that. Then I thought, well, I don't have to do that. I could record them as separate and then put them all together in one video. We'll get it all figured out, but it should be a fun trip down to Florida, I think. It's been a while since we've been to Florida. Of course, I can say that about a lot of places on the map that we currently ride on. Yeah, so money-wise, we're doing good because last episode, yeah, we bought ourselves a truck and we got another driver on the road. I'm hoping they're on the road. I didn't check this morning, but I want to be checking my drivers now at the end of every episode just to be sure whether it's on camera or off camera, just to make sure I don't have any of them just, sitting in the garage. Keep my eye on Sacramento. That's what we got to do. That's been the trouble spot. But next step with the money is buying a garage, I guess. Yeah, I know they expect our delivery. I got a couple hours to get there, and I should be there within the hour. All depends on how the traffic in front of us goes, which right now is very slow. And, of course, now we get the train. Just like in real life, always when you start to be just like, I'm in a little bit of a hurry, you're going to get every red light, you're going to get every slow driver in front of you, you're going to get trains, it's just going to happen. So we need about 150 grand to buy the next garage. But then we're going to need another 150 grand on top of that to buy a truck. So we need about 300 grand before we really do anything. And I think I'll just stockpile the money that way because I may change my mind at some point and say, how about we get ourselves just a different truck? But I would like to, at this point, the way we've been doing it, when we get ourselves a truck, we don't trade in the one we have, we just give it to another driver. So it's gonna be kind of difficult when I don't have any more garage slots to get ourselves a driver. So we will have to wait until we get to 300,000. That way we can have a garage, put this truck in that garage, and we get ourselves whatever we get ourselves. And I don't want to say it's going to be a long time before we get there because with more and more drivers, the money should be coming in better and faster. And of course, our drivers should be leveling up. I mean, they can't level down. And leveling up, it just means more money. So where am I going with this anyways? EP Minerals. Well, that could be a few type of factory areas to deliver to. And I better get going because our ETA is just getting closer and closer. Although we've been late before and the penalty hasn't been too severe, so I'm not extremely worried about it. And all the traffic in front of us seems to have maybe gotten the memo that I'm running just a little bit tight on schedule, so they all sped up. Apparently I have not been to Grand Coulee on this profile before. Interesting. Could be a very short episode if I actually out of Grand Coulee get one to the Florida Keys, which is about, well, it is the farthest southeastern point on the coast-to-coast map that we can go to. Still got 16 miles to go. Globus Transport Incorporated. Yeah, you better think twice there, car. Now this delivery should be just a pull-in drop-off because being an articulated trailer, they're not going to have me back it in anywhere. And that looks like a specialty viewpoint right over there. But I'm running late, so... I do remember going over the Grand Coulee Dam before. I thought it was on this profile. Could have sworn I've driven over the dam before. Well, I just took a photo in that exact spot, and that is a trophy photo shot. So if you ever go past here, you may want to take a picture of that to add it to your trophy photos. Of course, you got the dam right in the background. Don't know what the weight limit is on this bridge, but apparently we pass. So of course, if there's nothing going into Florida, we're looking for something probably to Seattle. I'm just using logic, but sometimes logic gets you in trouble. Logically speaking, if we go to Seattle, I would think we have more opportune choices to get a job to Florida. So is this going to be like a construction site? I can see our spot blinking there. And I just want to get us lined up as best I can before I get in there. And park and brake. Turn off the engine and decouple. We made it on time with about 20 minutes to spare. And it should be about $5,000, like, yeah, 5,600, which is nice. Oh, we got another level. Not that it matters. And we'll just go ahead and continue. Job market. So let's go see what we got for freight out of Grand Coulee. I'm not expecting a whole lot of jobs here. North Carolina, well, that's kind of close. Kansas. Oh, wait. No, how about if I actually clip on the city first? There's one to Spokane, so there's one to Seattle, Washington. Alabama is not too far from Florida. No, so I think, yeah, we're just going to go to Seattle, Washington with this one. And we're right here where we need to be. 6 hours. 10 o'clock. Yeah, that works. That'll be a good day. Then we can enter day in Seattle, and fingers crossed from the future, being tomorrow, next episode. It could be a good day. So yeah, if you're wondering, when I was talking about the states before, Oklahoma just got released. Kansas, I would assume, is next, and then followed by Nebraska, and then Arkansas, which is kind of weird. They're kind of like starting. You know, not Louisiana, not Missouri. They went Arkansas, not the Dakotas. I wonder if they're going to make the Dakotas one DLC. Not saying anything about the Dakotas. It's that there's not I've been to South Dakota. Well, not much of South Dakota. Anyways, yeah, I'm not going to get into that. Seattle, Washington. Let me click on that. Set GPS for that, even though it's going to be right here. And is my trailer... Yeah, trailer is still behind me. Can I not drive around? Okay. We'll just do it like this then. Job offers. Yep, just Seattle. What am I bringing? Silica. Looks like a lot of side roads that will be taken. Full concentration mode. Looks good. And we're lined up. And this weighs 35,000 pounds. Alright, so an average size load. Yeah, so about 4 o'clock in the afternoon we should be there, which will give us a full day, and then fingers crossed, we can get ourselves a wonderful trip to Florida. Get to see the dam again. Interesting. I don't have a stop, so I just go on through. Yeah, so right there is where I took... Well, you've seen the thumbnail, probably. You knew it before I even mentioned it. Look at the drivers bringing in the cash. Up the hill we go. I'm just trying to figure out what to do if in Seattle we don't have nothing to Florida, which would kind of suck. I'll have to figure something out. Just keep going from small little trips from here to there, and hopefully they reset. I don't think there's a dev command I can recycle the jobs. And I probably should, on a long trip like that, is service the truck. Hello, loan payment. I'm going straight through, right? Yeah. I actually don't have the option to turn right or left. A Ford sign out front and a Tesla sign on the building. Trailer seems relatively stable. Oh, someone did leave a comment, I don't know if it was on last episode or not, about what happened, and it probably was last episode because we were getting kind of low in the cash, where I mentioned if we were to go, and I think we did for a moment, where we didn't have the cash and the bank gave us 24 or 48 hours, whatever it is, to get back above, put money in the bank account. Someone to leave a comment saying they tried it out, and what happened for them was they sold one of their trucks to get the bank account back above zero, which sounds about right. But my question would be, what if you don't have any trucks? But I mean, that seems. Let's just say you're just. Well, actually, how would you be? Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do that in a sense of going bankrupt. I mean, you're probably just saying just buy a lot of trucks and not make, not have any money, don't put them on the road. But if the bank just sells your trucks that you bought, they're going to get the money back that way. But I suppose since the trucks decrease in value when you just buy them, if you borrow just enough money to buy a truck and they turn around and sell it, it won't reach the money that you borrowed on. These are the kind of conversations I'm going to have when I drive from Washington to Florida, if we get one, because it's going to be 3.5 hours of commentary. And I'm going to run out of things to talk about, I think. Sometimes it's going from, in Washington state alone, from place to place. I'm running out of things to ramble on about. I have talked about it before, about maybe a couple times playing some music in the background, just like we're listening to the radio, and not having any commentary. But most people said they'd rather hear me ramble on than hear the tunes. I've done that a couple of times, but it was special episodes of ATS, and I usually do that for Christmas. Usually for Christmas, I'll either, just put on a full snow mode or full snow mod and just play some Christmas music, deliver some Christmas gifts, make it like a 10-15 minute video. Actually, did I make a Christmas video last year? I can't remember if I did or didn't. I don't think I did. But either way, that's about the only time I've done no commentary in the ATS videos, just when it's a Christmas video. I was wondering what the ambulance was doing. Like, wait, you're pulling out in front of a van? Yeah, he needs to get to that convenience store to get himself, I was going to say a morning coffee, but since it's already noon, well, maybe he's getting coffee for noon. I don't know. Looks like our ETA is staying right at 4 o'clock, which is fine. We're not in a rush. As long as we get there before 5, that's all that matters. Yeah, I didn't even see what time. Are they expecting it today? Yeah, I got until 9:30 in the evening, but we should be quitting at 5. That's my horn. That's my Jake brake. Ooh, that's a lot of trucks. Also, I think it's playing in my head because people mention it in my farming simulator videos. It does seem like the graphics are better with the new graphics card, even though I've always played, not always, I've always played and recorded in 4K, both in farming simulator and ATS for the past couple of years. But people in the farming simulator videos said the graphics are a lot better. I don't know if the graphics are a lot better here. I'm still just playing with all the same graphic settings that I know of. But it does seem just a little bit more clearer. Of course you're going to have me stop at the way station. I didn't really notice. I thought I noticed it when I was driving along, but I really noticed it all of a sudden when I looked in the rear side mirror that it seemed a little bit more crisp. Rest in peace, 2080 Ti that I had. Usually traffic clears out for you, but watch this guy stop just to annoy me. There we go. Actually, when I was doing the whole graphics card thing, I kind of laughed a little bit because I think in last week's ATS video I was talking about, because someone did ask if I ever figured out what my computer problem was, and I think in last week's episode, which I said was recorded a couple days before the graphics card actually finally quit, I was mentioning like, I don't know, my PC just, the screen just lock up and I can't do anything and I have to reboot it. Just by rebooting it, everything worked fine. And it happened like 3 or 4 times, and it said it's just random times, not while I'm playing a game or recording or anything like that. And then it stopped doing it for like 2 straight weeks when I recorded that episode. I'm like, I don't know what's going on with it. And then like 2 days after I recorded that, I could smell something, which is never a good sign. I'm like, oh yeah, that's an electrical smell. And then within like 30 seconds, it looks like I was playing the 1980s game Space Invaders on my 4K monitor, which was like, oh, okay. So it's the graphics card that doesn't want to get along. All right. Ooh, I lost some time driving through there. ETA is now 4:30. I just want to get the load there. We're going to get this load to Seattle whenever it is today. Basically is what I'm saying. Am I going uphill? I'm not really gaining speed here. I don't have that heavy of a load. It's an average size load. It is nice scenery going through here, though. I'll give them that. Whoever did this part of the map. I do like the side river with even a little bit of a waterfall coming on down through there. Bravo. And one thing I got to give a lot of credit to SCS and what they do when making maps. They do send out a crew to the area that they're making a map for, and they take pictures, and when they go back and design the maps, they basically mimic exactly, I don't want to say exactly the way it looks like, but pretty darn close. I think it was a couple years ago I saw them making a video where they were, I think it's almost like Google Maps, where they just drive with like a camera in the car, in the vehicle, and that's exactly how they make it. And I've seen some of your comments in some areas that we drive through, like, and someone say, "Oh, I was born in that town, and that's exactly how it looks like." So that's pretty cool. It's getting to be, this is the easiest way to travel and see the country. Buy American Truck Simulator, get yourself a truck, and drive around. You can see the country. We can't get out and walk around town, but we can see the sights at least. I mean, I noticed some of the things myself, like when I was driving through Denver. I've been to Denver enough times in my life. Southeastern part of Wyoming, been to a lot. So when I see places like that, I'm like, yeah, that's remember how I remember seeing it, just like that. I know some of you out there are still asking and begging me to get into Euro Truck Simulator. If they come up with another day in the week, like a Fun Day, we'll call it Fun Day, and we'll put it between Friday and Sunday somewhere. If they come up with another day in the week, maybe I'll get time to do that. Because usually just when I think, oh, I'm ending this series of this game, or, you know, I need to start a new series of that game, and I start to think, okay, I need something to find to take its place. Within a week or two of that happening, also I'll get an email from a publisher that I've gotten some ties to. It's like, oh, we got like 3 games coming out, and it's like, okay, am I even going to like one of them? And then like all 3 could be like, I like them all. Where am I going to put them all? And I've actually had to pass up on some games I would like to get into. And I just don't have the time for it. The one game that still baffles me a little bit on my channel is SnowRunner. I always thought that game would do better than it actually does. I know it's just 1 episode a week, and sometimes it takes months in between episodes. But there's a series that never gets any traction on my channel. Alright, still should be there around 4:30, which is good. Don't make me stop at another way station. Thank you. Whoa, 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 whoa. Where am I going with this load? Union Pacific. Okay. Every time I see Union Pacific, that is one that can be somewhat challenging of a drop-off, but if it's a challenging one I'm thinking of, this setup I got here should be okay. And that usually means backing up around an LP tank and getting it into a snug little corner. But luckily this trailer here I should be able to do it if it's that one. But being Seattle and Union Pacific, I might be going to the port, so it could be a big wide open space. There are some really nice views on this. I don't know if it's a scenic route for the state of Washington, but it's very picturesque. I think that's the word people use. And I'm starting to see some of that in my state now. We're getting, well, by the time you see, is this October 1st when you see this? It could be. Yeah, we'll just say it's early October. Where I am, the leaves started changing on the trees about a couple weeks ago. We're not at our peak time yet, but the colors on the trees are starting to get very yellow, red, and orange. And in about a week or so, I think we'll be at our peak time. And we're starting to see, as we call them up here, leaf peepers, where they'll just pull over anywhere on a road to take pictures. It's like they saw Bigfoot or something. And I try to remind myself, it's like, look, just because I see it every year and we're so used to it. It's like anything. Wherever you live, you're used to seeing what you see all the time, and when someone comes from a different place and they see it, to them, it's like, oh, look at that. But people will literally just pull over on the side of the road. And some of our roads don't have pull-offs. They don't have the breakdown lane that we see on the far right-hand side. It's basically the white line, about a foot of pavement, and then a ditch. So they'll just park right in the road to get out and take pictures. Speed limit 55. Okay. Alright, so what am I seeing here that's between these roads? I think someone told me that this means it's a scenic area? Or a place where we can take like a trophy photo. Maybe that's what I did earlier. Like you can see in the GPS, we're coming out up to it right here, basically. So this may be a scenic picture area. I want to get back over in this lane here. Get back into the middle lane. Is it a detour, or is it just the one lane that's shut down? Okay, I mean, that's fine. Alright, I'm not going to do anything with the map. I'm just going to let GPS handle it. That just added about a good hour to our travel time. I mean, if GPS is saying that's what we got to do, I mean, there's not much I can do about it. Why is it always, like in the last hour of your trip, where it's like, hey, we're going to give you a detour? It's not like in the middle of your trip. It's always like, hey, I'm only 20 miles from my destination. Oh, here's the detour you're going to have to take. Alright, so we are going to be driving a little bit past our time, but that's the way it rolls, and I just can't pull over to a rest area either. There's been a couple times where someone had left a comment on the on episodes when I drive past the 11 hours. It's like, oh, you want to play realistic, but you're driving past. Not much I can do. Sometimes I do it, yes. But in situations like this, I mean, we're in Seattle, basically. The load needs to be there today. And I got that setting for Detours really low. I mean, I want them on. I want to get one once in a while, but it seems like we get them for the setting I got them on. It seems like I get it way more often than I thought I would. Alright, so here's where we do the loop-de-loo and head back the opposite direction. I need these cars to get out in front of me so I can merge on over. And it's getting to be that time in the evening. That it's going to be kind of hard to see some traffic with the shadows and everything. Well, hello, cop car. Hopefully I gave you some room. Yeah, I gave you plenty of room there. May not look like my headlights are on, but they're on. Always drive with my headlights and park lights on. Oop, I didn't see that car until the last second. Come on, dude. Actually, I haven't noticed with the fall mod, I really haven't noticed too much of like the trees, the leaves on the trees changing colors. The one thing that is noticeable, of course, is the sunrise, sunset. Now it's more noticeable that my lights are on, although a lot of the lights we're seeing are from the street lights. And I'm getting very focused on the GPS here. With so many roads going over one another, I just want to make sure I'm not missing my my turns. I don't want to do any repeats of my times in Houston, where I think it's always the same interchange where I always take the wrong turn or not turn at all when I should be turning. So yeah, we get to drive a little bit in the nighttime, even though it's only 5:30 in the afternoon-ish. I would call 5:30 in the afternoon. Some people start to call that the evening hours, I guess. I don't consider evening hours until... Yeah, I think I wanted to go here. Evening hours don't really start for me until like 7 or 8 in the evening. Of course, I'm a night person, so I guess all depends on your style. Yeah, I usually don't go to bed until like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning-ish. And needless to say, I'm not a morning person. I do see a service station and a area to rest that we're going to be going by. So that's probably where we're going to be, because I'm only 1 mile out from our destination. Unless I happen to go past another one later on. Did I miss my green light? I was ready to say, I see a lot of red lights. Someone must have a green light somewhere. And like I mentioned earlier, when you're kind of in a rush, that's when you get the trains. Yeah, so this service station right in front of us, that's where we'll be staying. Right next to a railroad track, so I should get a good night's sleep, right? I'm guessing not. That's where we're going to have to call it a night. And we won't check for anything going to Florida until the morning hours. The only thing I might be able to do, because I saved the game once I get done recording, which is whenever I end the episode. I think sometimes, like if I reload, if I wake up in the morning and there's no deliveries that I like, and I haven't done this in a long time, I don't know if it still works or not, I could just reload the game and then sleep through the night again and some new loads will come up. Does that still work? Or am I thinking that it worked and it maybe never did? I could keep doing that until I get something going to Florida. And like I said, we'll cut across most of the SES states and get to the southern part of the coast-to-coast map and try to stay away from the northern half of the coast-to-coast map so it's not so bland. I don't think I've ever been here. This does not ring a bell at all. But then again, I am here in the nighttime. Yeah, I probably have been here. Stop? Sure. At least I get to back up underneath the parking lights, so I can kind of see where I need to go. Yeah, that's probably not enough. Let's kick that trail over a little bit more. Now kick it back over, and ding. She looks good. Park and brake, engine, decouple. And my steering wheel's happy. Stop it. Show the results now, and we're just going to continue. And let's just drive, because I know where I need to go. Easy over the speed bumps. I'm not sure if that's the way out. This is the way out, but this is the way we're going. Yeah, I think I went the wrong way here. Whoops. Don't know what I just hit there, but that was interesting. Yeah, let me get on this side before I get a ticket. There's no one here anyways. Actually, there is another... Hang on a second. There might be one just down the street here. I mean, there's a Kenny dealership, a Viewpoint, but there's no fuel area here. It's the same as a service station, so I think this will work. Do I just scoot across here? Trying to figure out how to get in there. That's invisible wall, so we don't go around that way. Do I turn in here? Definitely not. I'm trying to figure out my way in there. Of course, when it's dark, I can't really see where I need to be going. Because it's hard to tell if that's pavement going into there, but it's not. Staring at the GPS, I think I need to go left, and then go left, and then go left again. Do not enter. Okay, this is a one-way street with a cop car there. This is going well. All I want to do is get to the rest area. Alright, I do believe this is where I can go in. Let's repair the truck and my brain. We just want to service it. Alright, so what do we got? 2% on everything, which is average wear and tear. And then, of course, quarter of the way through on the tires. We tried a while ago, if you were around for that or remember that. I think it was when we had the Volvo. I think we got up to, what, 40 some odd % on the tires? We never got a ticket or anything for our truck being too far out of service. We just never quite got a penalty or anything. There we go. This is where we're at. This is where we're at, Cindy. Let me just double check on the driver manager. And then what I do is click on status. Now my driver's in Alamosa, which came from Sacramento. Are starting to show do I have a trailer there? Someone mentioned trailers before. Do I have a trailer in Alamosa? I think I do. Are you all fighting over this gas tanker again? That gas tanker is such a good tanker. I mean, someone's using this one, the reefer out of Alamosa. I think what we're going to do is we're going to relocate the tanker and we're going to stick it in the Utah garage, which is only me. That way I can use it for future purposes. If I were to sell it, does it say, wow, that's... I think I paid like $150,000 for that. You only want to give me like 33? That's a ripoff. That trailer can earn a lot of good cash if someone could use it. Well, we'll hopefully in the morning, next episode, we will get something just out of curiosity. I'm not going to take one now if there is one going to Florida because I'm going to waste 11 hours because I'm going to be sleeping. But it would be interesting to see Tennessee, Arizona. Well, nothing. A lot of stuff just going right here up in the Pacific Northwest. We could try Olympia, Texas, Montana. You know what I might have to do Under options, if I go to gameplay, preferred job length factor. $150%. All right, does that change the jobs right away, or do I have to like kill some time now? So if I click on this, I think it's the same jobs, right? But by doing it now, there's one to Tennessee. By doing it now and I sleep overnight, that may give me some trips that far. I don't know what 150% is. I don't know. And I should have checked what percentage I was on. I'll have to remember when I edit this video what percentage I was on before I moved it. That way we can kind of keep it the same afterwards. But either way, a couple things we could be looking at next episode. Make sure my drivers in Alamosa are back on the road because we got 4 of them now sitting in the garage. Hopefully we find a trip to Florida. And that is pretty much it. But anyways, that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in American Truck Simulator with Realistic Economy. But until then, have a good one.